Hello, everybody. Tanner here. Happy New Year. Hope the year's off to a great start. I look back and about this time last year, I put out a very similar video, and I contemplated just resending it, but I'm gonna redo this one. Um, so if you watched last week's video and you spent any amount of time doing an annual review, I've had a couple of sessions just reviewing my 2024. And in this segment or in this video, I'm really going to just focus on the format that I use. And if you don't already have this month scheduled sometime, I'm going to strongly recommend a minimum of 2 hours. You might need to do a half a day or an entire day. And once again, I use the EOS format, the VTO, the Vision Traction Organizer, which is really designed for an entire business and the business plan and the whole vision aggregated into one. So you've got your core values, core focus, the 10-year, 3-year, 1 year. But I'm going to dig into this and apply this specifically to thinking about what are your lifelong goals, big goals, in the next 10 years, whether those are personal goals, professional goals, financial goals, physical goals, all those things. And what are the areas and categories that in 10 years your future self and really building into. And if you've already done a lot of this, I wouldn't recast. I know I get this question a lot. I would not recast those, but I would review and say, do those still resonate? And sometimes I'm going to use a silly example, and it might be, you know, your goal was to, drive this kind of car, and then, 2 years in, you're like, I don't really care about that. Then get rid of it. Um, and so that's really what I would say is you've already casted your long range goals. Um, if you look at those and they no longer resonate and they no longer feel like they identify with where you're trying to go, who you're trying to become, fine, get rid of those. Um, but really, what I think this planning does is at a minimum you need to leave with a clear 1 year plan in 2025. What are the clear and using this format, just these very clear, you know, 10, 5, 20, I don't care what they are, but very clear. What are the things do you want to accomplish in 2025? And then also then breaking those down into every 90 days and figuring out how you can pay attention to those things. And I've got some ideas on how to stay on top of those things that I'll share in the coming weeks. But the whole objective of this video is schedule time, take time, 10-year, 3-year, 1 year. And that's what you need. You need to have a very clear, here are the things I want to accomplish in 2025. And then we'll talk more about the 90-day and the weekly process in the future. I'm going to share where you can click a link. I will please just make a copy of this Google Sheet. Um, this has sort of become a hodgepodge, a templated version of a lot of the EOS tools. And I use this expanded one. I don't know how different that is, or excuse me, this template expanded. I use this one down here. I don't know why it's not clicking. I don't know how different it is. I haven't spent a ton of time, but I tend to tweak and add things, and so this is probably my um, most updated version of what I use in the weekly boosters and how I kind of do it weekly, which I won't get into right now. The whole objective is take time to do some annual planning and get your year off to an amazing start. Have a great week. Thanks.